Hey, party people. Oh my gosh. How are you guys doing? It's been such a while. I looked at my last video or my last shoot the ish stream, and it was from over 2 weeks ago. Time is just I don't know. I don't know time. I know we just ended Mercury retrograde. Thank God. How was it for you guys? It kicked me in the butt, so to speak, because yeah, we like just ended it yesterday, right? And I just got over, I'm pretty sure, was a double whammy of this cold virus. And then later, I think I got a strain of norovirus that's been going around. And I like just got over it. So, um, yeah, this one, it didn't knock me down so much. I think that has to do with the training that we get when we're on this mind body recovery journey where we're just so used to discomfort and not necessarily pushing through and taking care of things, but um just like being a little more, I guess, comfortable to move through your day when you're in a lot of discomfort and knowing you're okay and allowing all of it, right? Okay, so what happened was I came down with this cold, like super light cold. It was fine. This was a little over a week ago. And then my sister just had a baby. Her baby is only a month old, so a brand new newborn. And we had to have our Thanksgiving celebration with my side of the family a little early because of availabilities of everybody, right? So we had to have it on last Sunday, and I was tasked with making the zuppa Toscano soup. And they live kind of far away, so we were kind of orchestrating all of that. Eventually, and then I had a cold. So my sister, she's a first time mom, so I get it. She was concerned, and she pretty much just told me like, we'll pack up a to-go box for you. You ain't coming to our house, which I get. I totally understand. She's a brand new baby, brand new person. But I was not as sniffly that morning last Sunday. So I put on a mask. I made sure to stay away. I had to work that day anyway. I had to put in like 4 hours. So I told her, I'm just going to come over there. I'm going to cook the soup because I ain't trying to drag cooked soup in the car with kids, you know, and drive like 45 minutes. Like, no. Actually, I know. And I didn't drive. My mom did. um, so yeah. Anyway, long story short, we get there. It's fine. I have my mask on. I am totally keeping away from the baby, like far away, like, a whole football field long ways away, and having a good time cooking. I go upstairs and I'm just working, staying away from everyone. And it was fine. It was cool. I was grateful that I was able to go. But then at the end of the night, when we're starting to leave, my 10-year-old, no warning, he has not been sick all year. He hasn't had a fever in I can't even remember how long. And as a side, my son, my 10-year-old, since he was born, what is this? Okay, anyway, my son, since he was born, we've taken him to the ER many times for viral illnesses because he would have febrile seizures. He had it twice. Because his fever, if you don't know what a febrile seizure is, I'm sorry if this is triggering, but he's fine. And this is actually more common than more common now with kids. I actually know a few kids that have experienced this, and it's harmless. It's nothing. I do think it's a mind body thing. I do think it's the reaction to a higher allostatic load in these kids. Anyway, so he's gone into the ER a lot for viral stuff. And we were first time parents, and he was coming down with all these like really dramatic illnesses that turned out to be fine, but still really, really shitty to go through as a parent. And of course, as for him. But all that to say, me and my husband are very well versed in how to handle viral illnesses, I think, because we've had so much practice, especially with my oldest. And now I know all of those viral illnesses that he has gone through in the course of his life has built up a pretty strong immune system because that boy does not get sick anymore. And I think it's a conjunction of him just building up his or his immune system because of all his earlier childhood illnesses, on top of all of the mind body work I've been doing, and my husband's been doing self-help, self-growth work as well. So I think collectively our home is starting to feel safer and safer and safer. Certainly so. Like, he's 10 now. We're completely different parents than we were when he was younger. So all of that to say, very long-winded as usual. He has not been sick in a very, very long time. And if he does get a little whiff of sickness, it like barely affects him. Like how Helmet from the Mindful Gardener, how he says like you'll get to a point where your nervous system and your immune system will, like, if you get hit with a viral illness, it'll only affect you like 2%. That was my son, my oldest. He like rarely got sick. So imagine my surprise when he started feeling unwell at the party with my 1-month-old niece. I was like, of all the locations and all the days that you like not one of, and you could see it on his face, he really didn't feel well. He was shivering. He started getting really hot. And my son, I was like recalling to those earlier times when whenever he got ill, it was so dramatic. Like, it was so fast and so dramatic, like dramatic symptoms and all of that. So we rushed the heck out of there. We got home. He was feeling so ill on the drive. And then we got home. He could barely take down a Tylenol. He was like shaking, he was shivering, and he was really hot. So I just like we set up a little sick area on the couch for him. Like, we put a bed sheet on him, and we just like I oiled him up with all my essential oils and castor oil, all the oils, Vicks, like whatever, because we didn't know what this was. Because I was like, this is not the cold that I've been dealing with, Um, so then he went to sleep, and of course, I went to sleep on the couch as well, just to make sure he was okay, because I have a little bit of PTSD from when he would have those febrile seizures, because his fevers would climb so high, and that's why they would start shaking. So I was having all that. I was faced with all of those triggers, and then that evening I couldn't sleep. I kept waking up every 2 hours, and I kept feeling queasy, and like TMI, I like had to go to the bathroom, and I was like, what is this? Because my son wasn't having like gastrointestinal issues. It was mainly a fever. And I was like, what is this? And then I just started feeling just overnight progressively worse. Like, I started feeling chills and feverish and shivering and all of that. So I was like, all right, well, I caught it, you know? Um, so then at 6:30 in the morning, when I finally settled down to sleep, my son wakes me up and he goes, I feel so much better. And his fever was gone. Everything was gone. He wasn't shivering. He looked better. He was fine. Done. It was like less than 12-hour bug that got him. So grateful for that. But then I immediately was like, ooh, I caught something. So I tested for COVID because I have had COVID so many times because I have children, over the last 5 something years, 6 years. And I was like, oh, this feels like COVID. So I took a COVID test. It was negative. But then I don't think I had like a high fever. I just felt feverish. I didn't even honestly, I don't even check anymore. I don't check a thermometer. I didn't even check my son with a thermometer, because I just felt him and I was like, no, he has a fever. I'm not even going to check how high, because I just don't look into those metrics anymore. So I was pretty much out of commission for like 5 to 7 days. Like, literally today, I started feeling like I turned the corner yesterday, but I was still kind of today I feel back to my baseline, as close to my baseline as possible. which is nice. And I actually just came from my son had an overdue video game due at the library, or almost overdue. So I was like, you know what? I haven't driven like all week, you know, like let me get out of the house. My kids are gone. They went to church with my husband. So I was like, I love driving on an empty Sunday morning. It just feels really peaceful and calm. It keeps my anxiety at bay, you know? And I just had this fervor of like, you just need to get outside and you need to do something. So I went this morning and it was glorious. It was fantastic. Um, just having that time alone and just being out again. My voice sounds better. I know I still sound a little congested, but it's nothing compared to last week. And yeah, it was a crazy one. But I will say, like I knew I felt like it was norovirus related because I couldn't eat. Like I wasn't like my I couldn't eat, and I was like going to the bathroom, but it wasn't. I would say if it was norovirus, 'cause we've had norovirus before, it's come through our house, I think last year or maybe the beginning of this year, we had a case of norovirus hit my kids, not my oldest. I think I remember it hitting, and I actually don't remember it hitting me, but it hit my two youngest. And ironically, we know norovirus is very contagious, right? So I was expecting my two younger kids to start showing symptoms, but they didn't show any symptoms. So I was like, this is interesting. I'm grateful because I didn't want to be dealing with all kinds of sick kids while I was like really sick, feeling really uncomfortable and just really feverish and shaky and nauseous and all the fun gastro stuff. But it was mild. I think all that to say, if this was norovirus, which I'm pretty sure it was, I think because we got hit with it already like earlier this year, and how many times I'm sure we've had it so many times that it was mild, but still like my body had to process. It took all week to process it out. Gotta love it, huh? Yeah, so we had Thanksgiving dinner. So I was there for my family side. My husband's family side had it on Wednesday and I didn't go. I was trying to treat it like a mind body thing, where I was like, okay, well, I can go. I'll be uncomfortable, but I know the deal. But and so I was trying to sleep and rest in the morning so I could go in the evening, but my husband checked in with me. I was laying in bed and he was like, "Are you coming?" And I was like, no, this feels like this legitimately is like a viral thing for sure. And he was so gracious about it, thank God. And also, I didn't want to get anybody else sick. Like, oh, and that's another thing. So we went to my sister's. I know I'm jumping all over the place. I'm so sorry. We went to my sister's, who has the 1-month-old baby, on Sunday. And I told her as we were leaving, I didn't want to, but I wanted to be transparent. And I told her, my son's not feeling well and he's getting warm. And she was like, I get it. Totally. You want to protect the baby, of course. So she texted the next day and she goes, I have a freaking fever, 101.3. And I was just like, of course. Thank you, Mercury retrograde. We're peaking right now. Of course she would catch it. Even though we didn't stay near her. We kept away, or at least I did. I don't know what my son was doing. So I was like, all right. I took ownership of it. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I had no idea my son was carrying some kind of virus. And it was just like, oh, this is a bummer. But then she texted a few hours later and she said, my fever went back to normal after I took my nap. And I was like, oh, okay, grateful. But at the same time, I was like, you didn't have to like do the blame shame thing, you know? But overall, I was just like, okay, good. She's fine. The baby's fine. I get it. She's a brand new person. You want to protect her at all costs. Absolutely. I get it. But I was just grateful that that didn't spread. It just, from what I could tell, just got my oldest and me So I don't know. And then we find out, we were like, where the heck did he catch this? I mean, we have gone to parkour classes, we've been out and about. We went to the mall and stuff like that. And my husband was saying how someone at our church, she didn't show up Sunday morning because she had like the chills and she was shaking so hard too. So I was like, oh, okay, so something's going around. Okay, I get it. Let's just take a moment. I just need to take a moment because that was a lot. As if life isn't already a lot, But it was nice. I got to rest, like really give myself permission to rest without trying to get up and do stuff, because moms, like, we like to cling to the story that nothing gets done if I don't do it. Like, who's gonna do the dishes? Who's gonna clean the houses? And I was just like, Leanne, you can't. Just stop. You deserve to rest. So I went to the bedroom and I just closed the door and I just sat there and I just trusted that things were going to be fine outside. My husband was home. He was on vacation because of the holiday. And I was like, you know what? We're going to pass. I'm going to trust that he can do it. And I actually don't think this is something that I fully allowed myself to do, is to sit and just lay up in bed for, a couple days and rely on somebody else fully to just take care of everything. It's the oldest daughter syndrome, I think. Like, we always feel like we need to have a hand in things. But this time I was like, no, I think this is an invitation where I'm like, I'm going to lay up in bed for a couple days straight. I'm not going to worry about nothing. I'm going to trust Hubs. I'm going to trust you're going to take care of it. And that's that. And thankfully, I know there's not a lot of husbands that my husband didn't always like, he wasn't always gracious about that, which I get, because I think the same with me. Like, when he would be sick and he would lay up in bed for 3 days, 4 days, 5 days, I would be really resentful about it. I'm being really honest here. I would be really resentful about it. But I've learned that the resentment wasn't because he laid up in bed. He absolutely deserves to lay up in bed for days on end if he's not feeling well. People deserve to rest. But the resentment that was generated in me was because I wasn't giving myself permission to do that. And so, a lot of things came up regarding that. And finally, I was just like, you know what? When Jay, my husband, when he gets sick, he has no problem laying up in bed for 3 days, because he's trying to get well. And I know he's a good person. I know he's not, he's trying to get well. He needs to rest. And I was like, I'm going to do the same. So that's what I did. And it was so needed. It made me realize, as I was laying there and just like in and out of sleep and resting, how long it's been since I've done that. I don't think I actually, to be honest, I don't think I've ever done that in my life. I never felt like I could do that. So it was such a gift to give myself that permission to just, hey, it doesn't mean anything like that you failed or that Jay can't handle it or the kids, like, they're going to be clamoring for you because nobody else can do it but you. No, I dropped that story and I was like, I'm going to take care of me. This feels like the most loving thing that I can do right now. And that is what I did. And did it feel uncomfortable? Yes. But also it was like a relief of like, finally, you're giving yourself permission to do this. So yeah, very eye-opening things. I mean, that's what the retrograde is for, right? Is to reveal all these things within us and things that we need to drop and let go, and think new things that we want to pursue and all that good stuff. So that's my update for the last week or last 2 weeks. It's been wild as per usual, right? As we're going through this. But I am grateful. I'm feeling so much better, feeling really much, much better. I'm hopeful. Every time you get hit, I don't know if you guys follow the same mantra, but for me, every time I get hit with like a viral thing, which has been, like I mentioned before, it's been many times. over the course of the last 6 years because I have children, because we just, we had a pandemic in the last 6 years and all kinds of, like, pediatric pandemics that happened and viral stuff going around, and I think it's just all part of the collective purging that we've been undergoing for years and years and years now. I trust that this is all strengthening my nervous system and, um, because I'm really trying not to fight it and just to allow it all and let it do its thing, just like as Helmet always says, and just to move through it with as much grace as possible. But oh my gosh, there were moments this past week where I was in such the symptoms were so unbearable, the viral symptoms. Like we're talking pounding, persistent left lobe headache, like relentless. So um there were moments where I was just kind of found myself weeping because I was just like, this is so unbearable. But I'm sure that all needed to come out. Those emotions needed to come out. And then within all of this, I needed to work. I'm on a project right now, and I've learned that tech never sleeps. Tech never sleeps. They don't care about holidays. Not that it's a big deal because I'm not complaining at all because it's a sweet gig to just log onto your computer and work whenever. But we do have a goal to hit. And so me being ill, I was still trying to squeeze in work here or there. But it does require a lot of brain power. So I didn't fill a lot of the quotas that they've asked. But what are you gonna do when you come down with a viral illness, right? You have to find the balance between, okay, what can I do? Okay, I need to scale back and rest. Okay, you know, all that stuff. So um it's been interesting though having work because I find it's very time, when you clock in, it's looking at your time, right? So I find that I am totally not on YouTube as much. Clearly, look how long it takes to like do a shoot the ish stream. Um, and I am not at all on social media, like barely on social media now because my time has just pivoted to work now. And it's been great. Honestly, I think social media is the worst. Specific ones. I think TikTok, like the short form brain rot stuff, doom scrolling, um, looking at other people's posts and um, having it turn on the competitive gene in you, like Instagram, Facebook. I hate Facebook. I hate it so much. I hate it. I think it's the worst. I'm only on there to moderate the Mindful Gardeners Facebook group, which is a good Facebook group. There's great people in there. But as far as Facebook as a whole, like the whole concept, I hate it. And this is coming, I'm not judging because this is coming from someone who I would post, like I'm not on Instagram. I got rid of that a long time ago. Hell no, not on TikTok. No, got no time for that. But I would regularly post on my Facebook story like just things I was doing with my kids, like things about my life, just to like, post something and update. And then one day I just took a step back and I was like, why am I doing this? Why am I giving any brain power to posting something to my story for who to see? Like, what is the point of this? What am I doing this for? I don't think this is serving me at all. If anything, it's making me not present because there's a part of my brain that is thinking, "Ooh, this is a good situation or experience or clip that I need to post in real time." Like it was just I just noticed it was taking away from the presence of the moment that I was in. So I just stopped and life has been great. So now, honestly, you guys, like when I see people posting regularly to those short form content stuff like Facebook stories, Facebook in general, meta stuff, Instagram, TikTok, I mean, I know they're professional influencers and that's their job. I get it. But like for the layperson, like a normal person, I'm like, if you post regularly, then I'm like, I wonder how present you are in your life. Yeah, sure, it's a judgment, but I just wonder because I used to be one of those people and having reassessed that, I was like, this is not serving me. It's not serving me at all. It's if anything, it's making me think more. Like, oh, me and my daughter are having a great time at the park. Let me post this. I didn't need that anymore. And my life has been all the better for it. So let me know how your guys' Thanksgiving, if you celebrate, if you're in the States. Let me know how your guys' Thanksgiving went, please. And I don't know if you guys caught my I'll put it up here, like my recent Wild Haven Skin matcha beef tallow review or unboxing and impressions, but I see a huge difference. It's been a few weeks now since I posted that video and since I started using the product. And mind you, I'm coming off of being sick for a week, like truly sick. So my skin has been looking great even while I was sick. Like it is very, very soft, like crazy soft, crazy, crazy soft. I feel like the redness has improved so much. It's just evening out everything. So I'm gonna have to film an update video pretty soon, fairly soon. But yeah, you guys, let me know how your Thanksgiving went. Have you come down with any illnesses? How was your Mercury retrograde? I'm really glad it's over. I was cracking up because I was like, of course, right when as it's peaking and ending, because that's the proverbial thing, right? As the retrograde ends, it could get more intense. And certainly that was the case for me. It got so intense that it pushed me into like fully bedbound, laid up resting to recover from, I'm pretty sure, a strain of norovirus is what like came through our house. So, all that to say, the rest of the day is going to be a straight work day because the illness knocked me off my feet and I couldn't fill a lot of the quota, so I have to catch up. Please comment down below. Let me know how you're doing. I'm always curious, like how you guys are doing, how you guys are navigating through all of this, like everything, all the changes, all the challenges. Please let me know. And I promise we'll talk soon. I don't know when, but hopefully sooner than not. So you guys take care of yourselves, and I will talk to you guys soon. All right.